This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the chairman and CEO of Hannan Metals, Mr. Michael Hudson. Mike, how are you this morning?
Good morning, Gerardo. Top of the world.
You're busy. You just commenced diamond drilling at Ballyhickey in Clare County, Ireland. It's an exciting time. We've been waiting a few months. I was at the project earlier this year, and you were processing a lot of the data, delineating targets. This was, of course, one of the more exciting targets. Can we talk a bit about what that looks like at your 100% owned Clare Zinc project in Ireland?
Well, of course, it's always exciting to get the drill rigs turning, Gerardo, or the drill rig in this case. And this is a project that we've de-risked extensively. We've collected a stack of data over the last 6 to 12 months. And this is really the first drill program that is taking benefit of all that data, notwithstanding we were drilling over the last year and in and around Kilbrick and mainly itself to extend the known system. But this is the first big step out, if you like. It's 2 to 3 kilometres from the resource area, a lot shallower, so 150 to 200 metre depth targets with seismically defined structure, which is very important, with kilometres of soil anomalism, where the soils take up some of the leakage from what exists underneath, and then some old mines along that whole trend, that have been waiting 180 years to be tested again.
Now, the historic reports, I mean, it reads here that the mined ore from his historic reports, of course, ran 77% and 15 ounces silver from a calcite vein 5 to 6 meters wide. Are those numbers correct, Mike?
Yeah, they certainly went after grade in Victorian times. And the other interesting thing was there would have been a lot of zinc around with that mineralization as well. But zinc didn't have a use in those days like it does today, mainly for galvanizing. So zinc was literally waste material. So that's why zinc isn't included in those numbers.
And that 77%, I should be clear, was for lead, and the 15 ounces was for silver, just to be accurate, right?
Correct. Yeah. So that's a part of this trend, and now we've conducted the seismics and seen a fault outboard 500 or 600 metres from that old mine, specifically at Ballyhickey. So that's the first test.
Excellent. Now, the drilling is being done with a diamond drill rig. I believe it's going to be initially 2,000 meters at Ballyhickey, and you should be complete in Q1 of 2019. Is that correct, Mike?
That's correct. Yeah, we've got 2,000 meters along this. It's a 2 to 3 kilometer trend, so it's quite a large area. And we've got to try and find the sweet spots in that with what is a relatively modest drill program, but we're giving it our best shot there. And then that's part of a larger program of 4,000 meters.
I mentioned Clare County when we started the interview, and I did that intentionally because I know and I witnessed firsthand the community relations aspect to Hannan and how well you've developed that. That's really paying dividends, as it always does. Can you talk a bit about the permitting situation? Because it's quite unique, the fact that you were actually able to get those rigs turning. I know there was a bit of a delay that nobody is ever happy about, but you were able to work through that as a result of the great community work that you've done. Can you talk a little bit about that, Mike?
Yeah, well, it's mission critical, simply social licensing in anywhere that we work in the world, and Ireland is no different. And in fact, it's different in the respect that I've never really worked so closely within communities, because Ireland is a relatively small nation and people have smaller farms and houses everywhere. So you're really working in and amongst the community. So it's very important that we tell the community what we're doing, that we're exploring, that we hopefully will find something to mine, but it doesn't necessarily mean that every drill hole will find a mine, of course, because exploration is the research angle of mining. So we talk to the community a lot about those aspects, and then the hiatus in drilling was a legislative issue that is a moment in Ireland's history. It's very easy to permit drill holes compared to a lot of jurisdictions in Ireland, but there's been little bit of a hiatus, so we had to go down a slightly different path in the interim. and that was through the Clare County Council, and we're very thankful and supportive that we were able to permit in this new interim stage through the council.
Fantastic. We've said that 2018 was and needs to be a year, frankly, of discovery for Hannan. This gets that process underway once again. I got to imagine you and the team are excited. Mike, when can we start expecting to get some results?
In 2 months, I'd say, would be a good rule of thumb. It takes a little bit longer to drill in Ireland than other places because we only drill during the day and 6 days a week just to keep the noise down during the evenings. So I imagine 2 months is probably a good guess. So towards the end of the year.
Excellent. Mike, zinc is on the comeback. It seems like it's bottomed well along with the base metals. So let's hope that continues. Any thoughts in that space? It's still relatively healthy if you look at a 5-year chart, right?
Absolutely. It's a very healthy price compared to where we were over the last 8 years, I suppose, in the zinc space. And if you look at perhaps if your readers go and have a look at a yearly chart, it's a very pleasing chart. Zinc looks like it's bottomed and it's taking a real hike up again around the $1.20 a pound, and it seems to be the right time perhaps to be exploring for zinc again.
Mike, it's an exciting time. What's the market cap look like?
It's around 9 million Canadian.
And you've spent how much on or a better question, how much has been spent on this project historically and with Hannan?
Close to 30 million US over the last 10 years, and Hannan has put something like $5 million into the ground over the last 18 months.
There we go. So when you talk about upside, there it is, everybody. If we get a discovery, it should be fun. Thanks again for your time today, Mike.
Thanks, Gerardo. Always a pleasure.